Hi guys, today I'm going to give you a tutorial for the card trick boxed. So if you haven't seen my performance, first check out my performance. The link will be somewhere around over here. And here is how this is how you do it. So any card is selected, and let's say you select this card right over here. The card happens to be the Two of Hearts, and it's going to be placed onto the table. And square up the cards, and it's going to be placed inside the middle of the deck, just like that. And obviously right now you're going to catch a pinky break, and you can use your any method to get it back to the top. So I like doing the table cut force, which is to get a pinky break above the selection, yeah. And then take around a third of the cards above the pinky break and place it down the table. Take about half the cards that are remaining above above your pinky break and place on the table. Then take all the cards that are remaining above your pinky break and place on the table, and then just take the deck with their card on top on the table and just square everything up. If you do it nicely and quickly, it looks pretty smooth, it looks pretty convincing, it will look like this. So I'm just going to mix up the cards up. Yeah, that's very nice. So once you got it to the top, you want to get it second to the bottom. So I like doing it like this. I say, okay, I didn't ask you to pick two cards, and then you just want to get a pinky break under those two cards, over here, under those two cards. So pick one card, and then you can just blabber along as you're doing the other cuts and explain that you don't like when people forget the card and it's very annoying and whatever. So once you got that pinky break over here, you transfer it into a thumb break, which means you just take this hand and place it on top of the deck. And when you're doing that and you're like squaring the cards up with this thumb, you're just getting your pinky break away and just turning it into a thumb break. This allows you to do a double undercut, which is to take half the cards, around half the deck, and place it on top, and still hold your thumb break, and then take everything that is under your thumb break and place it also on the top. And what you've done is you've just brought the card second to the bottom. As you can see, card is second from the bottom. Now you can explain that the card is not on top and it's not on the bottom because you made sure that it is lost completely in the deck. Now, you can have to, when you show that it's on the bottom, you can have to do a double lift. So I advise you, now the top card is really top card, you don't have to do a double lift, but I advise you to act like as if you're doing a double lift, or do the same kind of movements that you do when you do a double lift, so it won't look suspicious when you do a double lift. So don't do, okay, so this is definitely one card, and it is not your card, right? Because then it'll be kind of obvious when you're saying, okay, this isn't your card, and you're like doing a double lift, look kind of stupid. So do however you want to do a double lift, do on the same top card. Obviously you're not doing a double lift, but do the same movements. I already showed you in my tutorial of the 4 Aces card trick how I do the double lift, and I will just show it to you quickly again. I think it's nice and convincing, it's flashy. You outjog the first card, or in our case over here will be the 2 cards, but here you're not doing a double lift, you're just doing it just for show. So outjog the first card, and then with these fingers, with your middle finger and your thumb, just place it on top, on the corners of the deck, of the card, sorry, and with this thumb, swivel the other corner, this corner right over here, just swivel it around and back, again around, and then back onto the deck, like this. So you say, okay, so your card is not on top, right? Your card is not the 3 of spades, and then they say no. And then when you get to the bottom, you can say, okay, and your card wasn't the 9 of diamonds either, right? And then you can just do that. You can say your card was not the 9 of diamonds, and they'll say no. And what you want to do is you want to turn it over, but to turn both the cards over, also the 2 of Hearts, just turn it over like this. Turn both the cards over as doing a double lift, just like that. And say, okay, so if the 9 of diamonds is not your card, I'm just going to place it inside the card box. And what you've actually done is you've just turned both the cards over. Obviously they don't know that. And what you're doing is you're taking what appears to be the 9 of diamonds, but it's actually the 2 of Hearts. And you're going to, you can't just do this, and okay, we put it in the card box because then they'll notice this card. What you have to do is you have to, as you're taking the card, this is a bit difficult, as you're taking the card, turn your wrist down. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. As you're taking the card, turn your wrist down. And this can be an excuse to just place the cards while your wrist is like this on top of the card box. So again, you explain that their card is not the 9 of diamonds. You say, great, it's not the 9 of diamonds. You flip it over. You say, I'm just going to put it inside the card box. You take one card and you turn your wrist over so they won't see this exposed card over here. You place it on top of the card box just like this. And this card you place inside the card box. You close it up, nice and tight. And then you take half the cards. You can let go and you take half the cards above and you place them onto the bottom of the onto the bottom of the box. Then you explain that you're just going to do something very quickly and make sure this comes as a bit of a surprise, just to give them maybe a little shock. You want to give a little flick with your middle finger and your thumb to the corner, to the left corner if you're a lefty. I'm a lefty, so I'll give it to the left corner of the box. But obviously, if you're righty, it will be to the right corner of the box, just over here. Nice, quick, hard, snappy flick, and what should happen is the box should just shoot outwards. And both these decks, the one half is on top, half is on bottom, should just collide together. And this is just all for show, because what we've done is actually, you can spread out the cards and show this one reverse card, and then it will turn out to be the 9 of diamonds, and you can explain, oh, and the 2 of hearts is in the box. So let's just do that. So we'll just give a nice good flick, bam, the card box goes kablooey, it's over here. And then you can say, okay, and while I did that, something magical happened, and you can spread out the cards and say, actually it's best if you spread the cards out so they're face up. There'll be a face down card. So you just spread the cards out and say, oh wow, there's one face down card and this is your, and say 9 diamonds. And they say, oops, 9 diamonds? Did I put it in the card box? And you say, oh yeah, I put it in the card box. And then just shake it and say, well, there is a card here. Okay, that's good news. You can just take the card out and say, well, there is a card here, and this is your 2 of hearts. And that's a tutorial. That's it. Goodbye.